Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Well, if the rest of Europe gazes at our navel-gazing, what on earth must they be thinking about us? David Davis suggested his resignation might strengthen the resolve of the British government in the negotiations, or maybe the Europeans will now realise that Theresa May has a right flank that's holding her feet to the fire and will cause the Europeans to be more flexible. Mairead McGuinness is the Vice President of the European Parliament. She is in Brussels. A very good evening to you, Mairead. Are you laughing at us or crying for us?
No, I'm doing neither, because it's not a laughing matter, although I might be closer to tears. I think for us here in the European Union side, we're watching a drama unfold, except it's real. But that's for the UK. That's the internal politics of the Conservative Party and the House of Commons. And obviously we take an interest and it does impact. But from our side, we stand ready to negotiate. And, you know, I heard some of the earlier commentary about wanting to put a gun to the heads of the European Union. But frankly, we've been ready from day one to negotiate with the United Kingdom. It's over 2 years since the vote took place, and we still are not sure what the United Kingdom position is. Having said that, on Friday evening, I was a little bit more optimistic. I did feel that the Prime Minister had got consensus amongst her cabinet. I think today in the House of Commons, she weathered a storm rather well, I felt. What I'm worried about, and I hear it already, that the white paper we're expecting on Thursday to put flesh on the bones of the communiqué of Friday evening is now likely to be delayed. I hope that's wrong information, because I think it needs to be published so that we can move on. We're coming into the summer period,
my understanding
and I'm afraid
is,
we don't have much time left.
Yeah, I think it has been delayed. Do you think, as you watch this, your side of the negotiating table think maybe we just have to be a bit flexible here, because the British are in a bit of a pickle, unable to agree, paralysed by disagreement on this issue, and we may just have to be a bit flexible if we're going to get a deal out of this?
But that presupposes that there's something on the table. And if I repeat myself, I'm going to do it, because frankly, we agreed with the United Kingdom a time sequence and content in the withdrawal agreement and transition, and then later a future partnership. On each and every occasion, the United Kingdom has not met its commitments or agreed the text. I was, again, frankly, more optimistic on Friday around the Irish question, because I felt the British Prime Minister was coming forward and now agreeing that she needs to have a backstop, and I think that's positive. So when you ask for flexibility, of course, in negotiations, everyone will have to be flexible, but we also have to defend the right of 27 member states, and those are staying together. And there's one member state that wants to be separate from, but obviously close to. I welcome that, and I hope that the British Prime Minister sticks with the line of what she had on Friday evening, and that we can make progress. But please publish the white paper.
OK. Another question. Does it worry you that we may slide accidentally or by some dysfunctional process into no deal, that there just may not be a deal, that the British may not agree? The default now is that we leave with or without a deal unless something passes in the House of Commons. Is that something that you're getting more worried about, the odds of the no deal?
Look, frankly, I've been worried about this from the very get-go. I unfortunately predicted that Brexit would happen. I saw the consequences for my constituency along the border with Northern Ireland. I know how the people I represent feel, which is fear and uncertainty about this lack of progress. So you know, your words may well come to fruition, but that would be a failure of politics in the United Kingdom, and the European Union doesn't want no deal. But we have to look at each other across a table and square up to the reality that we have to negotiate. Please, we're imploring the UK to come with a position that we can then talk about and make progress. And I was interested as well in people saying, you know, people should have a free vote in the House of Commons. Look, we all need something to vote on. The European Parliament will have to vote on the withdrawal agreement. I need to know what the content is.
Mairead McGuinness.
We will come back in September, and we have to make progress.
Mairead McGuinness, that message has come across loud and clear. Thanks very much indeed.
Appreciate that it has.
Thank you. OK, let's pause for a moment and just look at what happens now to Theresa May and to Brexit. A few scenarios. One scenario is that she survives this, she keeps her head, sticks to her plan and carries on with her softish version of Brexit. In effect, this all today, everything's happened today turns out to be the defenestration of the Brexiteers. A second scenario, you might call this the Jacob Rees-Mogg desired one, is that she'll just alter the policy, the Brexit policy, to appease that wing of her party, reverting to a harder line in her position with the EU. But the more interesting third scenario is that she is toppled by Brexiteers who instigate a leadership challenge. Now, this is how it works, and you just have to remember two numbers here. 48 MPs, Tory MPs, can trigger a confidence vote by writing to the chairman of the Tory MPs club, called the 1922 Committee. There are clearly 48 disgruntled MPs who'd probably like her to go. If they do write, then a confidence vote has to be held. But for Brexiteers to dislodge her, they need 159 votes against her in the confidence vote. If they get that, she's out and there has to be a full leadership election, a new Prime Minister and all that, which can take weeks or months. But 159 votes is a lot for the Brexiteers to find. And if Theresa May wins, well, then she's safe and she can't be challenged for at least a year. So it's better not to fight if you're going to lose and you don't have 159 votes. Well, if it did come to a leadership election, we can only imagine what the consequences for Brexit would be. Can we take a 2-month break while we decide who'll run the country? And who would be the new Prime Minister? Will the Brexiteers get someone strongly on their side or just another middle-of-the-road person like Theresa May? All in all, it is not easy for the Brexiteers to force the government to change course.